two. 1, 2. Last breath, ain't got nothing left. Final page in a book's turning. Long days, it's a new way. Fire in her chest is finished burning. I wonder if she can remember her mother's eyes. Those eyes that left this world before they could realize.
Awesome. This is the best thing you ever said. Nice, thank you. Alright, everybody, well, welcome back to the Tribeswell podcast. I need to set my timer here so I don't run out of videotape in my machine here. I'm here today with a good friend of mine, Ryan Beck, and another good friend of mine, Jake Belser. Jake, we are at Jake's house, which is also Primary Sound Studios, a recording studio here in Bloomington, Indiana. So welcome, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Jake, you got an awesome place here. How long have you been here?
I've been in this building for 13 years.
Right, and you had another building up the road before that.
Yeah, so I've had a business for 20 years now.
Man. I wanted to tell you, RJ, this month is actually the 20th anniversary of us playing music together.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
That's awesome.
We started playing when I was in 8th grade, marching band.
Oh, yeah.
So RJ lives here in Bloomington. He's one of my oldest friends, one of my best friends, and RJ does a ton of production. So you probably, if you follow me online, you know that I do a bunch of music projects, playing in a bluegrass band, a couple of rock bands. RJ is involved in all of those. He's a drummer, producer. What else would you say about your role in the groups? Messiah?
No. I just like being part of everything. It's a unique experience, especially the type of family that we run in. But yeah, that's awesome. 20 years, huh?
Definitely.
Yeah, that's a long time. Hopefully, it's 20 more.
Yes.
Not 22 more.
Yes.
So we were just talking, and I wish I would have caught this on camera. We always have these really great conversations before the podcast starts rolling and right after, so I like to catch some of them on the podcast if possible. But we were talking about how RJ buys a lot of records at the record store, and about how records have kind of gone up in price. And then we were talking about how someday probably the only type of record you'll buy would be like an LP, not a CD. How long do you guys think it's going to take before the CD is basically like less popular than the LP?
Oh, I don't know. Personally, I don't think it's ever going to flip all that way. I think that, maybe CDs are definitely on steep decline, but they probably outnumber LP sales by 1,000 to 1.
Really?
If not more.
That's crazy. 'Cause I've bought way more records in the last probably 5 years than I haven't bought a CD in over 5 years probably.
I bought an IKEA shelf worth. Actually, your IKEA shelf that you used to own is now in my basement. It's full of records, and it's about 2 years.
How many records do you have?
I don't know.
1,000?
Oh, no, much more. Much more than that. No,
you said 1,000. That's funny.
No, yeah, that's the hipster snob coming. No, records are great. It's just nice to physically hold something. There is something to say about listening to vinyl. Kind of capture a mood, different feeling. I feel like I can hear a song a little bit richer through vinyl. And my family, my wife and my son, we got a record player right in the kitchen, and it's nice to go there and have a little tradition of throwing on a record and doing your chores or cooking a meal. And so, I mean, I like records, and
Tell us about your Twitter handle.
Rivers Reviews, at Rivers Reviews. So every Friday, whatever record I got that week, or if I didn't get a record, then my son and I will go into Landlock, pick out a record. And
he's going to be, 3 in December?
December. And then we just put it on of a morning and just listen to it front and back. And dance, draw, play with cars. I don't know, and then we kind of review it. I ask him, whatever he's doing. If he's eating applesauce and digging it, I say, pairs well with applesauce. Rivers is really generous with his reviews, so it's always like a 4.5 out of 5, and you get the retweets from the people that you're tweeting at. So a lot of response to it. Kids are viral, man. Kids are so viral.
Oh my god, yeah, it's crazy. He was in the movie The Sandlot. Did you watch The Sandlot?
No, just at your house one time.
Okay, so they always, my son and our other friend's son, they always want to listen to the music from The Sandlot, particularly the song Finger Poppin' Time.
Yes.
Which is like the twist. It's like basically the twist, but it's like, come on, baby, do. It's a finger popping time. Anyways, Rivers was like, he was just in. I was like, man, this kid, like, he knows music. He gets music.
Yeah. Well, he's just exposed to it, just like I think any of our kids are. I mean, especially with us playing live a lot, I think they understand what it's like to kind of be in that setting, and it's always cool to, as look out and see your kid while you're playing a gig, too. I don't know where that came from. I'm getting nostalgic, I guess. But yeah, records. And it's also great to have somebody puts time into artwork or face cover.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah.
That's actually why we're here tonight. We're actually here to mix the new Pissed Off Catfish record. So, like, we're going to turn around as soon as we stop filming and start, like, remixing it and mixing it and mastering.
Wrapping it up, whatever that is.
So, Jake... So I have another friend named Jake that I work with, Jake Livingston. He's a singer-songwriter up in Indianapolis, and he was. We were talking yesterday at lunch about. He says, like, I've always tried to do my own mastering, but like I just had to, like, what is it with? So if you don't know, audience, like, so when you record a record, you record it and you mix it, which is like mixing it, the levels, mixing all the instruments, and then you master it, which is just like applying what general.
Mastering is, on esse basic level, putting the songs in order.
And then more to it. We're paying you to put them in order. I could have done that myself.
Okay, so put them in order, and then make sure the relative levels of each song are similar. So song 1 isn't louder than song 2, so they flow nicely. And then you can equalize and compress and do other things to make the song sound louder, sound deeper, brighter, whatever, so they have a nice sonic spectrum. Basically treble and bass EQ on them to make them sound like other things. That's really all there is to mastering. Mastering is often misunderstood, but it's mostly pretty easy, especially if everything was done at the same place.
If it was mixed and mastered in the same place? What is with these like mastering rooms that people have that where you pay them like hundreds of thousands of dollars and they... What?
I don't think I would pay any hundreds of thousands of dollars for mastering.
Well, if we had it.
Yes.
Now, if we had it, we use it for something else.
I think that on the high end of mastering, someone like Bob Ludwig might charge $20,000 or $25,000 to master a record.
Okay.
Real big name. Just look on a CD, you'll see Bob Ludwig's name on it. That's it's a guarantee of quality. There's a ton of mastering engineers that are in that $700 to $1,000 range, and some can do a great job, some can just do a mediocre job. Some are scamming you, for sure, and some are legitimate. I question a lot of mastering engineers, but my general rule of thumb is never spend more than 15% of your budget on mastering. Any more than that, you're better off spending that money in recording or mixing by a long shot.
Cool.
That's breaking news.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm on CNN. That's breaking news. That is the inside scoop, folks. That's good. No, that makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
As somebody that brings something in, it makes sense. I see you sweat over a mix. Well, not necessarily sweat, but whip out a mix and then fine tune, spend so much time on that. I can't see where it's going to go much more than that. I mean, I'm satisfied at that level. And,
there are little things you can do, but a lot of mastering engineers would have you believe that they've been given some enormous gift from the heavens that only they can hear this very particular frequency, and only they have the right thing that can do this magical thing that makes your song sound a million times better than everything else, and it's just not true. There are good mastering engineers who can take a a good mix and make it polish it up a little bit. An okay mastering engineer can take a bad mix and make it sound a lot better. But
but no one can fix bad playing.
No one can fix bad playing. Well, you kind of can.
You can today. But.
Yeah, mastering is way misunderstood and often far too. I don't know. People are misguided about mastering frequently.
So I was thinking today, I was like, mentally preparing for the podcast, like what questions I was going to ask and stuff. And so I wanted to ask probably both you guys, because you guys have both seen a lot of people record. And Jake, you've probably had players come through here that are like amazingly talented players, like guitar players that can just like shred tastefully. But would you rather have? And you've probably had a lot of bad players too. I mean, I've been through here a bunch. So, what is it like, or can you describe the moment and like the circumstances when you hear somebody do a take? And does this happen where you'll hear maybe it's some musician that isn't that good, but they just nail it, or is it like a really good musician that like just comes in and like is a total pro? Like what like really excites you like when you're listening to somebody while they're tracking, while they're recording?
That's tough. I'm thinking of recording Kenny Aronoff at one point, and whatever it is that Kenny does, he's a drummer, he's a great drummer. Whatever it is he does is so exciting to listen to and to watch, even though when you listen to it in the final mix it just sounds like drums. But when you're in the moment watching him and hearing him play this stuff live, this song he's never heard, and he's doing things and he's locking in, he's driving the band, pulling the beat forward or backward or whatever it takes. Something like that is it's genuinely very exciting. But then someone who's maybe not at Kenny's level, and there's 5 drummers in the world who are.
If you go to Wikipedia for the page about session musicians, he's like the first example. It's like
sure.
A good example of a session musician is Kenny Aronoff, who's a drummer, session drummer, very famous.
He is.
I'm gonna get him on the podcast. Could you get him to be on my podcast?
I don't know about that. If he still lived in Bloomington, sure, but
he doesn't live here anymore.
No, he hasn't lived here in a while.
Okay.
All in LA now.
Okay.
But someone who's not at Kenny's level, sometimes they just nail it and like that's great. We're done.
Yeah.
And sometimes a really good take is just that it's really good.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be great. A rhythm guitar part doesn't necessarily need to be that's amazing rhythm guitar part that's going go. But if it's really good or good, excellent.
Yeah.
Let's move on. But then when someone nails a vocal, you can always tell.
Oh yeah.
One of my most memorable session moments was with Rob, who's in Piss Off Catfish, when we were here, and his back was turned, and he's kind of looking out there, and he did Days to Turn Around.
Oh yeah.
And that one, and man, I tell you what, I just started like tearing up a little bit, and I don't know, he just faced away, he turned around, it's like, oh man, that was a moment, and that was a vocal that. Do
you think we used like one take of that?
Oh,
I don't remember.
It was probably. I think it was like within the first take, I experienced that. The second take, I think, is the one that he basically nailed.
Yeah.
Most of it, we probably pulled a little bit from the first take. But yeah, I mean, when you nail a vocal, you like Jake says, you know it, and you've been there too.
Totally.
Yeah.
Cool. Hang on a second. You guys can keep talking. I'm not even gonna cut this out.
Champagne's important. Every Thursday night we drink champagne. Cheap champagne.
Not Cooks.
Not Cooks. Remember when Seth used to drink Cooks beers?
Yes.
East Gate.
Cooks beers?
Cooks.
Did he get married?
Not yet. Oh yes, he did. He did.
This is for you.
Seth.
$ C.
He's had a big old shindig in October though.
Okay. Tell him to invite me. Hope you watch this.
You, Seth? Yes.
Yeah, I was on like Instagram this weekend, and I was like, oh, Seth got married.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And then what was the next?
He? Like out west somewhere?
He's in Colorado. But then the next picture you post, you see him in DVD, like off-roading.
Nothing happened.
Off-roading.
Yeah.
In some ATV. That was awesome. Rock crawling, I think it is.
I want to get him on the show.
Oh, man.
I wanted that truck with the carbon fiber.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see that. I want to do it.
Drive up. You should have him do that. Go through. Drive on up. We're going to video you going through your truck.
He's got chickens too, right? I know everybody's business from Instagram.
We'll just call that episode Trucks and Chickens.
Trucks and chickens. Because I'm getting chickens. So I'm going to build this fall, like as soon as it gets a little bit cooler, I've got some like scrap wood and a bunch of like old wood from inside the house products. Mm-hmm. I'm going to build the coop and the run. And in the spring, I'm going to get chickens. I'm going to get about 10 or 12 of them.
You're getting serious with that.
Yeah.
The coop and the run. I've never heard the run. That's what they run up inside?
The run's like the area of ground that you have fenced in, where they, dust themselves and go to the
walk
bathroom.
around and stuff.
John Jessup had chickens. You held his chicken.
Yeah, there's a picture of me on Facebook with that chicken. A chicken. And, it was awesome. I've been hooked ever since. I really want to get chicken so I can have like eggs all the time. Just like free protein that's made out of basically like the bugs in your yard.
Can you sell us eggs? I don't think Jake, you probably don't need eggs. He's a super taster, everybody. Can you describe what a super taster is? Just briefly, just give him the...
Is this a real thing?
Yes.
I never heard this.
I don't know if it's real, but it's on Wikipedia.
It's real, then.
It's just as real as Kenny Arnoff.
Yeah. It's some people, mostly men, have maybe an extra large amount of taste buds, so you taste things a little more intensely. And I definitely taste bitter things far more intensely than I think most people do. Although I don't know what other people taste. Mm-hmm. But there's some scientific data about that. So yeah.
There we go.
Could you give us a taste of your the champagne tonight and tell us what you taste? What would you label it?
It tastes like Sprite with a little bit of vodka in it. It's not the greatest.
It was $12.99. I splurged tonight and went
you
about 10.
should never spend more than that for a bottle of champagne.
Yeah.
The pros don't.
Man, this podcast derailed.
Yeah, it really derailed. Yeah, maybe we should wrap up. So this is... I actually always wanted to let it roll like this because I wanted to see what was going to happen. But nothing good.
It's just another night. It's just another night.
It's another damn night.
We started after the bottle of champagne.
Yeah. Definitely.
There might be a part 2. I don't know. We might turn this on later.
So we have upcoming. I always do my little plugs. I probably should do my plugs at the beginning, but I want my plugs to only be heard by my true fans that listen to the end of the podcast. We have Pissed Off Catfish tomorrow night, Melody Inn in Indianapolis, Hillbilly Happy Hour. That's going to be around 8:00 p.m. We also have the new Pissed Off Catfish website, which is going to be dropping next week. Almost done with that.
Nice.
And then we have the Pissed Off Catfish record, which is going to be called Homeward Bound, which we are going to probably be releasing in the next month or so. So, get your dollars ready and
it's a good
excited.
record.
I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's going to be. There's a bunch of songs that I really really like on it, so which is good.
Yeah,
I play on all of them. And you, RG, is this the first record where you've played all the drums?
No. John's on at least half.
A couple
of
them. Oh, really?
Yeah, at least half of them.
It
was kind of like my first record that I played drums.
Right. Yeah, because
before John Couch.
John Mark is another. John Mark is a professional drummer that we play with. He's awesome to play with. Another person, when you listen to him play, when he's recording, it's just like amazing. But yeah, I think you did an awesome job.
Yeah, man.
Your sound on drums is like really. I've always thought it was really unique. So yeah. I think it adds a really cool sound to it.
It's not been nice lately because I have the AOT drums that have a particular sound anyways, and I've gone more towards like a 70s dry sound, and I think it's fit well with at least the POC sound.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great week.
So familiar, never changing.
Mike.
When the whole truth turns its ugly head and look at you. eyes that left this world before they could realize it's not what you do, it's the mess that you leave behind. It's a world that lets you down, a world that can never make up for all it's missing.